Three mistakes. Whether you know there are top three mistakes that most midlife women make. And here they are. Do you know that we all have this unique, amazing body, right? So we better know what is normal and what is not. So that leads to my number one top mistake. No, not everyone, not all people know what's going on in their body, right? So our body, we should know if this is normal, if it's not normal. Usually we eat and we feel full and we feel fine, but sometimes we feel stomach ache after the meal or whatnot. That's just for example. So in midlife women, sometimes there's a lot of symptoms, right? Hot flashes, to name a few, hot flashes, joint and bone, the pain in the back, in the knees, in the hips, weight gain, insomnia, easily tired, hair loss, dry skin, urinary incontinence, anxious, anxiety, depression, headache. The list could go on and on, right? So let's say you have some of these symptoms and you didn't know what your the normalcy of how your body is, then it would be more difficult to detect what is not normal. So that's my number one mistakes. When we don't know what's going on, that means they ignore the menopause symptoms in midlife. Why is it a mistake? Because when you don't know what's normal and what's not normal, you don't have the information to talk to your healthcare provider. And when you don't talk to your healthcare provider who's supposedly be an expert in health and well-being and supposedly help you to reach the optimal health for your health, your body, right? So if you don't know that, you don't talk to a healthcare provider, that will limit your options, your alternatives that you could have had, that will limit it. So that's why it's a mistake. By knowing your body, know what is normal, know what is not normal, then you can talk to your healthcare provider and say, I noticed this and I know I'm in the midlife transition now, and is this normal? It needs care, it needs attention, or what can we do about it, right? So that gives you more alternatives and more options of what to do. Hi guys, thank you for stopping by and hanging with me here. So these are the symptoms that we should be aware of, and we should know what is normal for our bodies. So when things are out of ordinary, we can try to do the best we could so we can live life with joy and reach the optimal health possible. So that's the first mistake, by ignoring the symptoms. Because in some women, or most women, they know, or even men, generally speaking, women gonna have menopause at some point, maybe 40s, 50s. But actually, there's a little tidbits that menopausal symptoms can start as early as in mid-30s. Did you know that? So when someone experiencing some things that out of ordinary, sometimes they didn't know or they're not aware that that's a part of menopausal symptoms. But anyway, so when we know, we will just not like ignore them. Yes, we know that women gonna have menopause at some point, but when we know what is normal, what is not, then we can do something about it, right? I think so. The second one, guys, it's, do you know someone who have mental issues in midlife women? Some of midlife women also experiencing anxious anxiety. Can you imagine? Lots of changes going on in our body already, right? And when we don't know what to do, we don't really know what it is, then it's even harder and when we as human don't know what's going on, we start feeling fearful and afraid, right? Me, I worked. I have a degree in nursing, so I work as a registered nurse before. I know how to take care of patients, right? And when it happened to me, right? A few years ago, when I experienced midlife menopause firsthand, I admitted I feel afraid. I feel fearful. My goodness, is this gonna last forever? You know, that is not a great feeling. So, knowing in theory, learning is one thing, but when you experience it, it's another. So, just sharing that midlife women can feel fearful, frustrated, overwhelming, and uncertainty. It's a lot of feeling, right? So just saying that excuse me, mental state, mental issues, they are legit, people. They are legit. I'm I almost fall into that depression mode a little bit because I feel like, man, I had this pain in my hips and it I can't even walk. I couldn't walk properly because I'm so afraid the pain's gonna shocking and jerking to me, and I'm afraid I'm gonna collapse and fall. I did not want that to happen. So that fear is inside of me. And yes, fast forward, I pursue with natural, holistic way, learn from physical therapy sessions, and with the food, the right food, and how to eat properly and changing my lifestyles. Now, happy to say that I could even go to aerobic cardio drumming class and enjoy Zumba dance, which I was so afraid I was not able to do because I love dancing. So to just sharing the experience that it could be so overwhelming, guys, and the anxious, the anxiety, I'm not that level, but I could see that in some women it could lead to that state of mind. So things that going on in the body, it's the physical, but it's not only impacting us physically. Have physical, mental, emotional, and cognitive, right? Did you know that with midlife women, the cognitive part, two main things. Over 65 and 72%, some midlife women have difficulty recalling words, and also they have short-term memory loss. So that cognitive part, it could impact them as well. So they cannot sometimes interact and respond as before, right? So that leads me to the third mistake. So the second mistake, if you catch it or if you're not, the second mistake is mental issue is legit. So address mental issue and seek help. Seek professional help, because if and when it gets to the deterioration state, then you may need more help than before. So if it's starting, you notice something, you don't feel as well before. Some women in midlife also social withdrawal because of all these changes in their body. Say hot flashes whenever it's gonna come. And some people sweat so much they just like soak through. It's embarrassing besides uncomfortable feeling. So who wants to go and get into social gathering looking like that, right? It's embarrassing and it'll lower the self-image and lower the self-esteem and confidence. How about that? So it's a lot going on. So when you feel something, talk to someone, talk to your healthcare provider, talk to your friends, family, right? And lead me to the third one. The third one is what I want to say. It's related to the second one. The third one is effective and clear communication. I use example of brain fog, right? Say if you have brain fog, you may not interact or respond as well or as usual as before. So if say your spouse asking you something, he could interpret as you ignoring me, are you giving me cold shoulder or whatever that might be, which could lead to strain in the relationship, right? Instead, we could sharing, hey, this is how I'm feeling right now or lately. I feel like I need a few more minutes or need a little bit more time in order to respond or think about the right word or right phrase that I wanted to say. Sometimes I feel like I need more time. So understanding and sharing, it would bring more connected in the relationship and strengthen your relationships, whether it's your spouse or it's your friends or your family, whether it's your parents or your children, your grown children, because some midlife women, they already have children that's grown and have kids on their of their own, right? So whomever that is, being clear and effective communications that would strengthen the relationship. And human, we are connected together through the relationships, right? So when we have great relationship, it's just less stress, unnecessary stress that we have. We don't have to have them, right? So we can live life even lighter and more joyful. So I hope that these three mistakes that I mentioned are helpful to all of you. And I hope that you all can get through this midlife transition more smoothly, because it's a lot of change already, a lot of changes. So if we can embrace and navigate this phase in our life and more joy, why would we have to suffer and going through pain literally or emotionally in any way, right? So stay strong and you can do it. You are beautiful and you live life as beautiful as you are. And thanks you guys for stopping by and hang with me for a few minutes. So I'll see you next time. Take good care of yourself. Be well. Bye for now. Hi. Thank you for your kind words and comments. Bye, guys.